Yes, how we doing, people? Good evening, morning, afternoon, and of course to all of you people that are watching on catch up as well. Welcome. It's another Arsenal show. I'm going to try and do these daily. Look, I would love to say and report that Arsenal are busy and that Arsenal are flying and that Arsenal's now the transfer windows open again are absolutely flying in the market, and it looks like a striker's in the door. We've got our left winger, our attacking midfielder is on the way. We've got Zuba-Mendy, our defender is announced, and our goalkeeper is here. We're ready to go. But it doesn't work that quickly. It certainly doesn't work that quickly when you're Arsenal. And although that's unrealistic to get 6 or 7 players in the first week, I thought we might have had one at least to celebrate. Liverpool, Manchester City are doing their bits. Manchester United have started to have some movement. The other clubs pretty cute, if I'm honest. I mean, Tottenham, Chelsea, Newcastle, they've all done bits, but nothing amazing. Arsenal have definitely been linked with players and continue to be linked with players, but nothing yet concrete as to what Arsenal are doing in the transfer market. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you get us up towards the big 5-0, which at the moment is just under 7,000 away. It will get there with your help. So please make sure you click those 2 buttons, like and subscribe. Make sure you're scanning the QR code as well in the corner for Match Bingo. If you're watching the Club World Cup, you must have Match Bingo. Make sure you download it. Click on the link in the description or just scan the QR code and make sure that you get it. Now, we've had another winner, Kenny, Liverpool fan. He's won twice. Kenny, big up to you, my bro, because do you know what? 150 quid come your way. You're a Liverpool fan, which is very frustrating that Liverpool keep winning. But big up to you, man. Make sure that you follow Match Bingo. Make sure you've downloaded the app and you're playing along. All you need to do is literally get your card and then just check at the end if you've won. It does it all for you automatically. The other day, I was 1 corner away from winning 150 quid. Just a corner. That's all I needed was a corner, and it didn't come. So I was a bit annoyed. But that's how easy it is to win money on Match Bingo. So please make sure that you click on the link in the description. Download the app. All you've got to do is credit £5 to your account, and then I think that gives you around about 4 cards. Plus, they're doing a deal at the moment where you get 1 free. So you get 5 cards for that. So make sure that you do go and get your cards sorted. And let me know if you win, like Kenny did in the comment section. So big up. Big up to Dan United in the chat. Make sure you're following my boy Dan United. He's got a new channel now, and he will be posting out a lot of stuff. So make sure that you go over to follow Dan United. He says, we ain't signing anyone until we sell Potsy. Real chance United start the season with Rashford up front. Well, you've definitely got Højlund that's staying at the moment from what I can see, Dan. Xerxes likewise. Rashford's still there. No idea what's happening with your situation. But it's going to be tough now. Manchester United need to stick to the Premier League signings, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of Premier League quality that Man United should look at. Real talk. I actually think it would be fair to go in for the likes of João Pedro. I think they should go in for the likes of try and be in the likes anyway for Kudus and Mbeumo and Mitoma and these type of players that are doing well in the Premier League that would all be happy to go and play for Manchester United. Problem is you're going to spend a lot of money on those players because they're Premier League proven. But I do think that you don't have to look very far. I don't think you should be going over to Valladolid and trying to pick up their left back and go over to the likes of Levante or maybe Bologna and get these unknowns. I just think you go and get the Premier League proven players. But that's where I'm at with Man United. But make sure you follow my boy Dan. And show him some love. We're going to be talking tonight about Nico Williams. We're going to be talking about Ollie Watkins. We're going to be talking about Zinchenko. We're also going to be talking about the striker situation and what we would like as the dream, because there's realistic and there's the dream. And I think that we need to be putting a little bit of pressure on Arsenal this summer to getting it right. Now, I understand and appreciate that people don't always come back with the same, which actually frustrates me when they say this, but fair play. It's not FIFA. We're not playing Football Manager. I'm not asking to play Football Manager. I'm not asking for FIFA. I never have done, if I'm honest. Playing FIFA for me is, right, I want to go get that goalkeeper, that back 4, that 3 in midfield needs to be brought in, and that 3 up top. There's 11 players. Boom, let's go. That's playing FIFA. When you're asking for a winger, a striker, a midfielder, and a couple of backup players to come in, that ain't playing FIFA. That's having a good summer, because that's what Manchester City have done. You know, Manchester City have bought pretty much a new 11. I think it's 9 players now in 2 windows. Chelsea have done it. Forest bought about 30, didn't they, once? Inter Milan did with Conte and they won. What's wrong with bringing in 5 players? How's that playing FIFA? Unless you're bringing in 5, then you're spending 100 million on each one, then you might be playing FIFA. But come on, man, let's be realistic. Why do people think we're playing FIFA? I always get that. It's not FIFA. It's not Football Manager, Dan. What? Asking for Gyökeres? The Sporting Lisbon striker. Stop playing FIFA. It's mad. I don't get it. I just don't get it at all. Owen, big up to you with a super chat. He says, Dan Williams is rubbish. Martinelli is literally has much better numbers than him, plus the work rate. Arsenal need goals. He does not help with that. Let's start there, shall we? Let's start there. Because I am with Owen 100%. I don't want Nico Williams. He's not the one I'm looking at. He's not the one I'm praying for. He's not the one I'm begging for. He's not the one that I believe can take Arsenal across the line. Now, there's a difference between believing a player is good and believing the player is elite or good enough to be ready now. And I'm kind of similar with Williams as I am Sesko. I think if we were looking at 5 years' time, both at the age of 26, we'd be saying they're the ones to go and get. But I'm done with what we're going to be looking like in 5 years' time. I want the player who's ready now. And I would argue that Ademola Lookman and Gyökeres are ready now, and Sesko and Williams, albeit could be better in a few years' time, will be ready in a few years' time. I don't want to wait a few years' time. I want to get the guys in now. That's what I want. And they're ready now. Now, of course, we want Gyökeres and Rodrygo. They're the 2 that we want, right? But the ones we're being highly touted to get are Sesko and Williams. And there has been an update on Williams today. I don't know what people's thoughts are on Nico Williams as a whole. I don't know if people believe this is the guy that we should be getting. I'll give them my opinion. Let me know in the chat, yes or no to Williams. Let me know. I'll do a poll in a minute as well. But there has been some news. Sport and Sport Witness have suggested that there's a Nico Williams update. And this is the update. Williams is aware that Luis Diaz is Barcelona's primary target, and he's willing to adapt sportingly, financially, and personally to move to the club. Arsenal, meanwhile, are bidding hard for the player and are offering a €9 million net salary, which neither Barcelona or Athletic Club can match. Williams has asked for time to exhaust all options of joining Barcelona before considering other clubs. That, to me, means Arsenal, move away. Move away. He does not want Arsenal. He does not want Arsenal. Like, let's be real. It's just no. He wants to stay in Spain. And I don't know why we're still obsessed with this player. He's got no want or drive or passion or desire to play for Arsenal. We're offering him €9 million a year. Let me work out what that is. So €9 million is 7.6 million. 7.6 million a year. So I don't know what that is. Anyone good at maths? What's 7.6 million across a year a week? What does that work out as, roughly? Doesn't that work out like 200 grand a week or something? Because that's not what they're going to offer him. They're not going to offer him that. That's just not going to happen. I think it's like £200,000 a week for a 21-year-old who hasn't proven anything other than he played well in the Euros alongside the likes of Pedri and Yamal and Fabian Ruiz and Rodri and co. I don't think that is good business. So, look, I'm in a position where I'd happy to take Nico Williams if that's the guy they want, and I'm happy to see what he's like. But would he be my first choice? Absolutely not. Would he excite me? No. Would he give me goosebumps or would he raise the hairs on the back of my neck? Absolutely not. Rodrygo would, however. Rodrygo absolutely would. But Nico Williams is wanted by Barcelona. And if I'm honest with you, I think Nico Williams wants to go to Barcelona and stay in Spain. His best mate, Lamine Yamal, plays over there. You've obviously got teammates over there as well. Look at the likes of Dani Olmo. Look at the likes of Pedri. You've obviously got the defense as well. For me, I think this will happen and he will go to Barcelona. Which means we need to actually move targets now and stop mucking around. We've paid too much attention on this guy for too long. For the best part of 12 to 18 months, Nico Williams has been that guy that we've been obsessed with. And I've seen the words obsessed. Arteta is obsessed with him. Arteta wants him as the left-sided attacker. Arteta has put presentations together, PowerPoints on showing how he fits in. If we've been doing that for 6 to 12 months and he still don't want to come, it's time to move. It's time to move. Yeah. So there we go. Some random guy is better at maths than me. 150. There we go. So it's 150 grand a week, right? Which the other two teams can't afford. But he doesn't want to come. So we can offer him 350. He's not interested. He's not interested. He wants to stay in Spain. So why don't we move past him? Why are we so obsessed with this guy? This guy does not look amazing. He looks all right. He looks quite good. I saw him in the Euros and thought, oh, yeah, he looks good. And then I started to watch him at Athletic Club and thought, oh, he's not better than Martinelli or Trossard. Yeah, I don't want this player. I've made that quite clear. I don't want him. And if I'm honest with you, I don't know why anybody else would want this guy. Not right now. He ain't ready. He's still raw. He's still got a lot to learn. And I'm not saying he won't get better, but right now, between Luis Diaz and Nico Williams, Barcelona better hope they get Luis Diaz because he's better. And I'm not even a massive fan of him, if I'm honest. Guardian of the Galaxy thinks he's better than Rodrygo. What? The Rodrygo who used to play for Leeds or the Rodrygo who plays for Real Madrid? What are we doing here, bro? He's levels of Nico Williams, Rodrygo. Use the eyes, man. Like, you don't even have to look at stats. Rodrygo is clear of Nico Williams. He's won everything in football. He's been incredible. And this is the problem. I think sometimes, yeah, the chat also agree with me. Unfortunately, there is a... Have you heard that Arsenal want that Swedish right back? No. What's his name? I don't know. William Longjohn. There you go. William Longjohn. Oh, I'm going to do some search on him. They'll go and look at him and they'll go, you know that William Longjohn? I think he could be the next Trent, you know. Arteta wants him. So do I. I think he could be incredible. And I think you didn't even know who he was. Like, what did we do this for? Like, everybody at the start of the season wanted Isak. When Isak wasn't available, it was like, right, let's go for Gyökeres. Because we want Sesko, everyone's now convinced that Sesko is better than Isak or Gyökeres. That Sesko is going to be a Haaland. That Sesko is going to be the next Thierry. That Sesko is going to be the next Zlatan. Hang on a minute. Why did you want Isak and Gyökeres for then? Come on, man. Long John doesn't sound Swedish. Yeah, I couldn't think of any names. So, I personally don't understand why we see a player and we don't use our own eyes. We go by what we hear. Oh, Mikel Arteta believes... What? Mikel Arteta believes... Yeah, but Mikel Arteta thought that Fabi Vieira was going to be the next best creative midfielder. Fabi Vieira thought that Nuno Tavares was going to be an unbelievable left back because he's good at defending. Mikel Arteta brought Cedric and Pablo Mari into the club. Mikel Arteta seems to believe, for whatever reason, that Mikel Merino was the answer to our midfield and that Calafiori is going to take our defence to a next level. He does get it wrong. He's been brilliant with Gabriel and Timber, and it's a brilliant signing from Rice, even though I do think at times he's played him out of position. He's done good things. But come on, man. There are times where he gets it wrong as well. And unfortunately, we have to hold that with him or he has to hold that, should I say. Him and Edu haven't always got things right, people. They've got a hell of a lot wrong. That's what I will say. So Nico Williams, for me, isn't the guy. He's not the guy that I want. I would rather... I'll tell you what. I'll tell you wingers I'd rather ahead of Nico Williams. And these aren't players that I would want at Arsenal, by the way. But if I had to choose an order, these are the players I'd want ahead of Nico Williams. Rodrygo, Barcola, Eze, Morgan Rogers, even though they're not real left wingers, I'd still rather have them over Williams. Lookman, Semenyo, Rafael Leao, Mitoma, Alex Baena, who is more of a central attacking player but can play left. So that's 9 that I'd rather have over Nico Williams. So I'm sorry, I ain't feeling it, is what I'm saying. So if we do end up with him, I'll give him a chance, but I won't be excited. But if I'm honest, I do believe he's probably going to go to Barcelona. So the Williams one, I feel like we just need to forget it. Like, it ain't happening as far as I'm concerned. Like, I really don't think it is. I really don't. Let's talk a little bit about what could be happening on the outgoings, right? Because we are going to lose players. And apparently the players that we are going to be losing are Alexander Zinchenko. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is not because I'm gutted he's going, right? Because he's done with the club as far as I'm concerned. But my God, is this going to end up being a bad deal? We bought him for £27 million from Manchester City. He came in at left back, inverted, and gave us a chance at a title. After that, he was found out defensively, and he's never been put back there since. Somebody has put him on £150,000 a week. He was on £20,000 a week at Manchester City. Why did he need the jump of 130 grand to come to London and play for us? We're going to end up getting around £10 million for Zinchenko at the age of 27 or 28. It is a shocking bit of business. And the reason we're only going to get about 10 million from AC Milan is because they can't afford his wages. So it's either they pay a small fee and make him, pay most of their wages, or they pay his wages, make a small fee. I do not believe he's going to want to take much of a wage cut so we get more money for him. But AC Milan want him. Now, apparently they want Calafiori as well. I'll be more than happy if they offered anything 40 million upwards to say yes to Calafiori, because I don't think he's good enough personally after what I've seen. However, Zinchenko, I think good riddance. It's done. Get him off the wage bill, make the 10 million, let him settle down in Italy. I believe Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, and Borussia Dortmund are the clubs that are interested at the moment in Zinchenko. So let's see which one wants him the most. It's not just the Italian clubs that want Calafiori and Zinchenko. They're also looking at Kivior, from what we understand as well. Now, we're not going to sell them all. If I'm honest, I actually think Kivior and Calafiori might both stay, and Zinchenko will be the one that leaves. And I don't think any of the other defenders will leave. That's what I think. Because if anyone's going to be offering any money for our defence, I don't think it's going to be much. So I think Calafiori and Kivior will stay, unless 50 million comes in for him. Don't think that'll happen. Zinchenko, I think, will be allowed to go, revive his career somewhere. But the rest of the sides, I think players will think will stay. So that's the news on Zinchenko. AC Milan made an inquiry for Ricardo Calafiori. Apparently we said no. They're now pursuing a move for Zinchenko. It says he's on 200k a week. He's actually on 150. But they're a sticking point. They're ready to push to get the deal done, though, according to John Cross. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I don't expect it to go mad with Zinchenko. I think it would be quite an easy deal for them to get done. We're not going to try and hold on for him. So I think that's something that will end up getting done at some point. I don't think it's going to be a player that I look at and think, wow, we really need to sort this out. Rah, rah, rah. Zinchenko can go, man. Like, real talk, Zinchenko can go. But where does that leave us defensively? Are we short? I mean, look, Graham Bailey's suggesting that we might be a bit short if those players were to go. And it's Yoral Harto that's being linked. Hato, Harto, you say it how you want. I've always called him Yoral Harto. And he's a player alike. I've got to be honest with you, people. I think he's got similar attributes to Jurrien Timber in terms of what he's like on the ball, the athleticism. He's good defensively. He looks good, comfortable on the ball, versatile. I think he's only 18 or 19 years old. He captains Ajax. He's more of a left-sided centre-back and left-back. Can play across the back line, but I think he'll be a player that comes into Arsenal if Kivior leaves. I don't think he'll come in if Zinchenko goes alongside Tierney. Now, some people might say, well, we've lost Tavares, we've lost Tierney, and we've lost Zinchenko. We're short of left backs. But look, we would be, but Lewis-Skelly has come in, Calafiori has come in, Kivior and Gabriel are still there. That's 4 left-sided defenders. We've only got 3 right-sided defenders, and that's Saliba, Timber, and White. We have still got Tomiyasu, though, to be fair. So we have got our 8 defenders when you look at it. But can they cover that right-sided defending position? I'm not sure. Do you want Ben White or Timber playing at right-sided centre-back to cover for Saliba? I don't. Ben White and Timber are the right-backs. Tomiyasu is just forgotten about because he's never fit, so we can't rely on him. So that's no point having him. So that means we've got Saliba and nobody to cover at right-sided centre-back, which is why we're being linked with Mark Guehi. It's why we're being linked with Dean Howson, who's now gone to Real Madrid. And it's why we're being linked with Mosquera from Valencia. On the left-hand side, Yoel Hato is only being linked because Kivior is being linked with a move away, I think. And if I had to put my money on it, I think Guehi and Hato probably both go to Chelsea. I think they'd be 2 phenomenal signings for Chelsea. In fact, I think both of those signings would be phenomenal for Newcastle as well. So watch this space with Yoel Hato. Graham Bailey says that Arsenal and Chelsea have both held talks with him. The player believes Arsenal to be the near perfect destination, but his camp are keen to keep the race open. So he is tempted by us over Chelsea. Of course he is, because we've got Champions League football, of course. And we're in a position, I think, as well, with... to be fair, Chelsea have actually got Champions League football. But still, I think that we're in a better position, in my opinion, than Chelsea. Not by far, if I'm honest, but I think we are. And I think Jurriën Timber is going to want to try and persuade him. But I'll stress this. I only think we're getting this if Kivior goes. I really do. And I'm not sure that Kivior is going at the moment. So it might be that we don't get Hato. Clark, what does he say? He says, Jesus and Tommy should be paid up to leave. Wasters. Do you know what? I totally agree. I would be willing to pay their extra year in bulk and say, you're now a free transfer. We've terminated your contracts. Go and find clubs where you can try and revive your career and stay fit. And just get them off the wage bill, because I'm sick of it, if I'm honest. They are an absolute nightmare. Tomiyasu will get injured again next season when he starts playing football. Jesus will get injured again next season when he starts playing football. It's just facts. I'm sorry. I like them both as footballers. I actually think Tomiyasu is a phenomenal defender. I think his one-on-one defending is superb. I think his aerial ability is class. I think he's got a lot about his game technically. Very versatile. Wins headers, can play centre-back, right-back, left-back. I think he's a very good player, but he's never fit. Gabriel Jesus, exactly the same. Big fan. Very good, technically gifted footballer. That ain't going to be happening. He's always going to get injured. Big up to Forder. I hope you're well. Forder on Football. Make sure that you go and follow Alex at Forder on Football. He's a great lad, doing quite a lot of stuff content-wise of late I've seen. So big up to him. Says, would you sell Havertz if that meant that Gyökeres and Sesko come in? Yes. I'd sell Havertz and Jesus. And I'd get both of these guys in. Because we clearly want both. That's why we're dilly and dallying, right? These two need to come in. People keep saying to me, why can't we afford them? We can. We've got 350 million, so Josh says. So if you do the maths and you spend the 150, let's say, on those two, you've got 200 million on the rest, which brings you in Zubimendi for 50. And it brings you in 5 million of Kepa. And it brings you in a Rodrygo winger. And you've still got a little bit more money to buy on an attacking midfielder or a backup defender. So we can afford both. Let's be honest. That's where I'm at. So look, absolutely I'd sell Havertz. Of course I would. Don't think anybody would disagree with that. You're getting £500,000 a week off the wage bill as well. That's what people forget. So that's one that absolutely has to. So that's where I'm at with that. Let's talk about the scenario up top, because if I'm honest with you, it's one that everyone keeps getting confused by. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. 1 week, we want Gyökeres, then we want Sesko, then we want Gyökeres again, then we want Sesko again, then we want someone else, then we get neither. Oh, isn't it frustrating? I absolutely love us to just go and get someone now. I really would. But look, Berta, John Cross, he's speaking about Berta and it says that Arsenal are actively pursuing deals for both Gyökeres and Sesko. While they do not plan to sign both of them, Berta is keeping his options open and has held advanced discussions over both of these players. Ollie Watkins is also still on the radar. What do we think about that? First of all, let's talk about Gyökeres and Sesko. I want Gyökeres. Some of the fans want Sesko. I can tell you this. Arsenal want Sesko. And I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to sort out a Gyökeres if we don't get Sesko. So now I'm praying we don't get Sesko. Now we could be getting both. And everyone's laughing at this thinking, oh my God, they're going to get one or other. Actually, we could get both. That would be amazing. Amazing. But Ollie Watkins is another player that keeps getting mentioned. Now, let me tell you, if we got Ollie Watkins, I'd be more than happy. But he needs to be the backup option. He needs to be the player that is coming in and out the side, not starting every game for Arsenal. He's Premier League proven. He's a massive Arsenal fan. His stats are brilliant. I think he's got 20 goals and assists in the last 3 seasons consistently. So he knows where the net is. But is he going to lead the lines for Arsenal and win us the league? I'm not so sure. Gyökeres and Watkins, I'm up for it. Sesko and Watkins, I'm probably up for it, but not as much as I am Gyökeres. I don't think we're getting 2 or 3 of these. I think we're getting 1. And if I'm honest with you, I would rather have Gyökeres, I'd rather have Watkins, I'd rather have Sesko. That's the order. Watkins is Premier League proven. Sesko is a massive question mark. Gyökeres is a question mark, but a risk worth taking. It absolutely has to be Gyökeres in at number 1 for me. If we end up with Ollie Watkins, I'll be questioning what the hell were we doing in January. Now, look, a lot of people are saying both. Joking, mate. You can see it in the chat. You're joking. We ain't getting both of them. Who's Eddie Nketiah's replacement? Someone tell me. Anyone know? Who is the replacement for Eddie Nketiah? Come on. Someone tell me. Why are you stumped? I'll tell you why, because there ain't one. Yeah? We let Eddie go. We ain't replaced him. So, bringing in one striker replaces Eddie. Who comes in with the other? Jesus is injured. So that means that if we brought in Sesko and Gyökeres, you'd have Gyökeres, Sesko and Havertz as your 3 strikers, which is what you should have at the club anyway, by the way, is 3 strikers. That's what happened when we had Lacazette, Aubameyang and Eddie. That's what happened years ago when we had Henry, Bergkamp, Wiltord and Kanu. That's what happened years ago when we had Robin van Persie, Adebayor and Eduardo. So why aren't we doing it now? Oh, Man City ain't got 3 strikers. Who cares? Liverpool have. Manchester City, Manchester United, have they got 3 strikers? I think they have, actually. They're rubbish, but they've got 3 strikers. So teams do it, yeah? Why can't we have 3 strikers? What's wrong with that? So I've got to be honest. I said this to Lee earlier. The squad of 25 that we need has 3 versatile players, a first 11 and a second 11. That gives you 25. You've got your goalkeeper and your backup goalkeeper, your right back and your backup right back, your left back and your backup left back. You've got your 2 centre halves and your 2 backup centre halves, right? So that's 10 so far. Not even got to the midfield yet. You've got 2 holding midfielders, 2 number 8s, 2 number 10s, 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers, and 3 strikers. And then obviously you've got your versatile players. And those versatile players, unfortunately for us, we're stuck with them because they're injured. Tomiyasu, he can play across the front line. Back line, sorry. Jesus, he can play across the front line. And you're going to look at Ethan Nwaneri or potentially Max Dowman, if he's good enough this season, to come in and be that kind of midfield attacking option as well. That means we need 6 or 7 players. Yeah? We're going to need potentially a right-sided centre-back and a left-sided centre-back, a goalkeeper, that's 3, Zubamendi, that's 4, somebody in the attacking creative role, that's 5, a left winger, that's 6, and a striker, that's 7. That means we're going to need 7 players. How many are we going to get in the summer? We ain't getting 7. We might get 4, might get 5. And I'm hoping that we get 5. That still leaves us without maybe a defender and an attacking midfielder short, or a wide player short. But I think we'll get a striker. I think we'll get a winger. I think we'll get a midfielder. I think we'll get a defender backup, and I think we'll get a goalkeeper backup. That's 5. That's what I think we'll get. We obviously need more than that, but I think that we'll get 5 this summer. We've got to be quick, though. None of this mucking around. This is the problem. We can't be hanging around. We've got to go and get this done. We absolutely have to get this done. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Look, there's more news on Ollie Watkins. Where is it? Here it is. I can't believe how this is worded, by the way. Apparently, Arsenal think the asking price for Gyökeres is too high, so they're going to focus on signing Sesko or Watkins instead. Now, if this is true, and I will say, I think it's absolute waffle, this. If this is true, why the hell were we happy to pay £65 million for Havertz and put him on 290 a week? But we're not okay to pay 70 million for Gyökeres and put him on 200 a week. Please, somebody explain that to me. Maybe I'm a numbskull. Maybe it's me. But we've got 65 M's and 290 a week, or 70 M's, which works out around about £59 million and 200 a week for a cheaper striker that's better. And we're debating whether that's too much. Then we've got Ollie Watkins, who's probably going to cost Arsenal about 60 million. Probably going to want about 150 a week, which isn't far off what Gyökeres is asking. Or we've got Sesko, who's going to cost us 80 million euros, which is more money, but he's only going to want about 100 and something grand a week. Make this make sense, people. How about stop fucking around with the money and go and get the one you think is the right fit? Now, if you think that Sesko is the right fit, 1, what does that even mean? 2, what is it that he does that Gyökeres does not do? Because all I can see is 1 don't score many goals, the other one does. And also, what the fucking hell is the right fit? Because Mikel Arteta, in 5 years, has had a different style of striker every season. So what profile is he looking at? Because he started with Lacazette. He had Aubameyang. He had Eddie Nketiah. He had Jesus. He had Havertz. He's had Marino. And at times, in and out of the side, he's had Trossard. They are all very different profiles. So when people say, Sesko, obvious, isn't it? What is, mate? Well, it's obvious. We want Sesko. Why is it obvious? Well, it's the perfect fit. What the fuck the hell does that mean? What fit? Mikel Arteta hasn't made it obvious what profile of a striker he wants. Because only last summer we were told, get excited. Isak's coming to Arsenal. Is he? Yep. Do you know what he is? The perfect fit. Don't tell me that Isak and Sesko are the same player, by the way, because they're completely different. Yeah? They're completely different. So I do not understand how he can be in that scenario. I just don't know how we can be in that field. They're absolutely nothing like each other. I do not know what the style of play is that Mikel Arteta wants. All I know is this. Whatever striker he brings to Arsenal, he has to win the Premier League or Champions League with. So no pressure. Yeah, no pressure. Danny, I appreciate that. I don't like to slam sources and I don't like to say they're brilliant either, mate. I just share info that's there. We work out as a fan base what we're into in terms of reliability, mate. So I totally do appreciate that some of this will be unreliable that I share. But look, it's just information at this stage. Nothing else is happening. So that's the striker situation. Not sure what people's thoughts are on that. Don't know if people believe that Ollie Watkins would be good enough for Arsenal. I personally don't. Sesko, Gyökeres. Let's do a little poll, shall we? Let's get the chat involved. Come on in. Let's start a poll. Arsenal's next striker. Gyökeres. Sesko. Watkins. Who do you want as Arsenal's next striker? Gyökeres, Sesko, Watkins. There we go. Polls up. Let us know. I'm genuinely interested to see who comes last here. Genuinely interested to see who comes last here. 30 votes already, nearly 50 votes already. Gyökeres winning by 70% to 25% Sesko to 8% Watkins. Genuinely interested here. This one will be interesting. Osimhen's another shout, to be fair, but we just haven't been linked with him. And I don't know how to answer this question. I was asked this question, right? How would you answer this chat, right? Why has no one bid for Osimhen? Genuinely, why has nobody gone for Osimhen? And I know they haven't all gone for Sesko and Gyökeres either, right? Or Watkins or any of them at the moment. Isak, rah, rah, rah. But over the years, Osimhen for the last, 3 years has been scoring goals, whether it be for Napoli, Galatasaray, or wherever. No one's gone for him. Why is that? Why is that? Like, why has no one gone for him? Wages too high, yeah. Some people are saying that. But if he's on 400k a week and he's banging 50 goals or whatever it be, well, that's a bit extreme. Let's say 25 goals. Then is it worth it? I think it is if he's going to lead you to glory. 10% want Watkins, 19% Sesko, 71% want Gyökeres. Interesting. Very interesting at the moment, I would say. A lot of people wanting Gyökeres. There's going to be a lot of unhappy Gooners if we don't get Gyökeres. It won't just be me that's unhappy. Heard he's got a bad attitude, apparently, Victor Osimhen. Maybe. If I'm honest with you, I don't know too much about that side of things, if I'm honest. So look, Nico Williams, I mentioned earlier, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We've got to forget about it. Can we forget about the guy that I would class as the marquee signing this summer? This one has to happen for me. If there's any chance that he's leaving Real Madrid, which I don't think he will, but if there's any chance that he does leave, we have to make a move for this guy. We absolutely must. We just must. There's no other question mark about this for me. Rodrygo has to be the guy that comes into Arsenal. Arsenal are waiting on Real Madrid to find out if they're willing to sell Rodrygo and how much it would cost. That's according to Sam C reports. If he's available, the Gunners will enter negotiations with the Spanish Giants to sign Rodrygo. Now, if Xabi Alonso says, I want you to stay, and Rodrygo turned around and says, I'm sorry, boss, I'm off. Brilliant. But if Xabi Alonso says, I want you to stay, and he plays in this Club World Cup on the right-hand side and he's absolutely killing it, and he goes over towards the left-hand side and he starts killing it, you'll know he's going to stay. If he has a bit of a rough Club World Cup, plays on the right-hand side, doesn't look himself, I think we need to just be putting in a bid. And I think we should be putting a bid anyway. You want to come Arsenal, Rodrygo? There's 100 million euros. We'll give you 300 grand a week. Come to Arsenal. No. Okay, cool. No problem. We tried and we move on. So when people say, he ain't coming to Arsenal, Rodrygo ain't coming to Arsenal, how do you know? Ain't tried yet. Has he told you he don't want to come to Arsenal? He might want to stay at Real Madrid. And do you know what? If he stays at Real Madrid, fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah? If he wants to stay there, not a problem. But if he ends up going to Chelsea or Manchester United or Manchester City, even more realistically, I'll be really peeved. That same goes for Gyökeres, by the way. If Gyökeres and Rodrygo end up lining up in a Chelsea shirt or a Man City shirt, I'll be absolutely fuming. Or dare I say it, a Man United shirt. We need to look at getting this guy in. He's the only player on the left-hand side that makes me excited, other than Kvaratskhelia, who's no longer available. Yes, Barcola's a good player, and Lookman's good, and Leao can have a good game on his day. But let's be real. They're not to that level. Rodrygo is quality. I want him. 100 million euros, around about 85 mil. Absolute steal. Won everything in the game. 24 years old. Brazilian international. Won everything at Real Madrid. He's got to come, man. He's got to come. It has to. That's the one I would be really excited about. Then we got some news on Nypan. This is quite funny. This will make you laugh. According to TBR Football and Graham Bailey, on Nypan, he said it's weird. Arsenal thought they'd got him. It was actually Villa who came in strongest. Arsenal were a little bit shocked that Man City have ended up getting him. They thought Man City were out of it and felt they'd beaten them to it. Well, we didn't. Man City got him. Weren't we told this kid was pretty much wrapped up back in January? 18 years old, highly talented. I mean, let's be real. It wasn't someone that I was massively interested in, but that would have been a good signing for the future. And Manchester City have nicked this to us. It happens. It's not going to win us the league. I'm not massively bothered. But how can we think we've got him and then Man City get him? Like, let's just be real. That's so weird. That's the way it is. Guardian Galaxy really doesn't like Rodrygo. Thinks he's an absolute bum from the sounds of it. I can't understand how you do not rate this guy. He has been fantastic. He says, Dan, please explain to us how he's quality and how does he make you excited? Watch Real Madrid, bro. Watch Rodrygo's goals. Watch him be a baller. Watch him take on his man. Watch him beat his man. Watch him cut inside. Watch him smash a ball from outside the box. Watch his link-up play. Watch his skill. Watch his tenacity. Watch his technical ability. Watch his drive on the ball. Watch his passion and power and skill and pace. And then you'll understand, man. Watch his versatility, scoring goals from right and left. This is a baller. Rodrygo absolutely destroyed Manchester City. Watch it. He was unbelievable, man. So that's why I like him. If you don't like him, that's cool. It really is fine if you don't rate a player. But I like him. I really like him. Thomas Partey has been named the Ghanaian Footballer of the Year again. He's won it in 2018, 2019, and 2025. The Thomas Partey Foundation was honoured, winning the Football for Good award at the ceremony. And he's been named Ghana Footballer of the Year. Guess what, people? He still ain't signed. So for those of you that like Thomas Partey, he still hasn't signed for Arsenal. Why? That's our own player. Now, I can understand and appreciate that signings can take some time, but why haven't we signed this geezer up? If he's on 250 a week, keep him on 250 a week and put him a couple of year contracts. What are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing? Why are we in this mess with him? Like, I can't deal again with Thomas Partey leaving and Zubamendi coming in to replace an upgrade on Jorginho, and we lose Thomas Partey. We've become weaker. Like, we've become weaker in midfield if Partey goes. Do we not understand this? He cannot leave Arsenal, man. He has to stay. Poll in the chat, who do you want as Arsenal's next striker? We've had nearly 300 votes. 67% of you want Gyökeres, 21% want Sesko, and only 12% of you want Watkins. I'm going to end the poll there because that is probably going to stay around about the same. Gyökeres wins. Surprise. Shock. Let's hope we get him, eh? Let's hope we get him. Jay, big up to you. We know how I feel about Partey Daddy's quality. Got to be honest. I think he's been our best midfielder for quite some time. And I know Declan Rice gets player of the years and understand why he's so important. But I think Partey has been so underappreciated and underrated. And if we lose him, we're going to know about it. Now, look, hopefully Zubamendi comes in and he gives us something different. He's going to give us that kind of breakthrough passing. He's definitely more attributes to his game of probably away from what Partey brings us physically, but his technical ability will shine through. But Thomas Partey has been outstanding for Arsenal. Absolutely outstanding. The only reason he hasn't been spoken about in the same caliber as others is because of his injuries. That's literally it. He's been unbelievable for us. He's the best number 6 at the club, without a doubt. He's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So that's us. That's us. I don't know what more to say to you guys, really. We aren't signing a striker yet, but we will get one. It's probably going to be Sesko. We all want Gyökeres. Zubamendi would be done on the 1st of July, from what we understand. Kepa's going to be our goalkeeper. Yoel Harto might come to Arsenal as the defender cover if Kivior goes. Doesn't look like we're going to be signing a creative midfielder or right-sided winger cover for Saka anytime soon, but left wing could be an option. The left winger we bring in, I imagine, will probably play right wing as well. But it isn't going to be Nico Williams because he's going to Barcelona or staying in Spain. It doesn't look like Lookman is an option. Rafael Leao, we're not sure about. Question mark. Barcola, likewise. Doesn't look like Semenyo or Matoma or any of the Premier League proven players have been linked with Arsenal yet. Could it be an Eze? Could Eze be the perfect signing for Arsenal over that way? Because for me, he has to come in alongside the Rodrygo. But if you're going to buy somebody, I'd rather it be Eze because he can play in both positions. In the attacking midfield, he can cover for Ødegaard, he can cover for Saka, and he can play left wing. So Eze is just a no-brainer for me. £68 million release clause. Just go and get it done. Like, why aren't we? Eze, for me, it just has to be done. It's simple, right? Go and get it done, people. And I'll leave on this. Berta, we need to see some more. I get it. But on the 1st of September, when that shuts, yeah, I want it to be a real wake-up call to the rivals that Arsenal is serious. I want that window to shut on the 1st of September and Manchester City and Liverpool to go, we've done well, but it's in Arsenal. They're serious. And I just don't know how our window ends that way now, unless we was to go and sign Rodrygo and Isak. I just don't understand how. Like, Rodrygo and Gyökeres, maybe? Maybe. But I got to be real. I don't know that we're going to get anywhere near that. If I had to estimate what I think it would be now, I'm going to go with Sesko because I just don't think Gyökeres will happen. I think it would be done by now if it was. I really do. Kepa, Zubamendi, Sesko, and somebody like Eze. That's what I think the window will look like. So we'll see. We'll see. Listen, people, hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed. There's only 209 likes. There's well over nearly 900 of you still watching. Make sure you scan that QR code. Let's get Match Bingo downloaded, people. All you got to do is credit a £5 and let me know if you win. Yeah, somebody's won today. Big up to Kenny. 150 quid. It's easy to win on Match Bingo. Let's get it done. All the Club World Cup games are going. It gives you a bingo card. It does it automatically for you. You don't have to sit there ticking it off. You can sit and relax and watch the football. I was a corner kick away from winning 150 quid. So let's get this done. Let me know in the chat if you win as well, because a lot of people are winning and they're not letting me know. So make sure you do it, man. Match Bingo, scan the QR code or click on the link in the description. Download the app and then credit £5 to your account and you'll be away. It's very cheap as well. So make sure that you go crack on. Until next time. Oh, go and spam Northside's chat. He's literally live now. So go and say Dan Potts raid. And yeah, we're out of here. We'll see you next time, people. We're out. Good night.